So you want to start maximising your profits in Blackjack? Well, it's not as hard as people make it. Firstly, do you know how to play Blackjack, or do you struggle to decide whether to hit or stand? In this video, I will show you how to play with basic strategy and a card counting trick. How to play. Different to other casino games, you are not playing against other players. It's you versus the dealer. The aim of the game is to be as close to 21 as possible without going over. If you go over, you automatically lose. The difference for the dealer is that if they have Blackjack, they automatically win, unless you also have Blackjack. The dealer also must keep hitting until they reach 17 to where they must stand. This varies on different casinos. Card values. Card values are easy. I will show you on a deck of only spades the different types of values. Ace is the first of the spades. This is technically the number 1 as there is no number 1 card. However, in Blackjack, this card is either 1 or 11. Simplest of all these cards are face value. Example 2 equals 2 and 9 equals 9. Lastly, cards 10 through king are all values of 10. Thanks to Blackjack apprenticeship and his long hard research, there is a mathematical strategy to give you a higher advantage against the casino. Here is a chart for the basic strategy. Link is also in the description. The key is to memorise this strategy to bring the casino advantage down to 0.5%. How does it work? The dealer's revealed card is at the top, whereas your total of cards is along the side. Let's say you're dealt a 7 and a 4. This is a total of 11, so look at the 11 on the side. As you can see, whenever you're dealt an 11, you should always double. Now if you're dealt a king and a 5, but the dealer has 6, you can see as displayed, you should stand. See? Easy, right? As I don't have any physical cards to demonstrate, I will show you a clip of Blackjack apprenticeship demonstrating.
Assigning a value to every card. I have a fourth of a deck, a 2 through ace of spades. So 4 of these, 1 of these in every suit would be 1 deck of cards. And what we're going to do is separate these into different values. So we're going to have 2 through 6, which are going to be our low cards. And those are going to be given a value of +1. So every time you see a 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, you're going to add 1 to your running count. Over here we have 10 through ace. So every time you see a 10, jack, queen, king, or ace, we're going to subtract 1. These are our high cards. And then 7, 8, and 9, these are neutral cards. They're going to be assigned the value of 0, or you can basically ignore them with your running count. Keeping the running count, we're going to be doing what David just did for every card as it's played. And the nice thing about high-low is because it always starts and ends at 0, because it's a balance count, and because it's a pretty good, stable, versatile count, you can use this exact same system, whether you're playing 1 deck, 2 decks, 6 decks, 8 decks. We've played it all, and we always use high-low. So you're going to be counting every card, whether it's the other player's cards, your own cards, the dealer's cards. You're going to be counting everything until that cut card comes out. So let's show you a few examples of what this is going to look like, keeping the rank count as it's dealt. Here's our first example round, and I actually don't recommend counting until the second card is being dealt to each player. So then right here we would say 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. And so we have a 2 because this is a neutral, this is a 0. And one thing that's really nice, a shortcut, is if you have a high and a low card, like this hand or this hand, these actually just cancel each other out. So the other way you would count it is 1, 2, cancel, cancel, still a running 2. And then at this point you would count each card as it comes out with splits and all that stuff. So at this point we have a running 2, and now you're going to count as every card comes out of the shoe. So we have +2, and then 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 2, and a running 2. Now we're going to keep that running count into the second round. So we have a running 2, and again, wait for the second card to come out. So we have 2, 1, 0. Those are both zeros. -1, -2, and -1. This player's going to stay. This player's going to stay. He's got a blackjack. So we have -1, -2, and -3. And we don't say negative, we say D for down, like D3. It's just a little bit faster to say, a little bit easier to do. And we're gonna keep that running count, that -3 into the third round. Again, waiting for the second card. Cancel, so we're still at D3, -3, -2, -1, -2, -1. He's gonna stay, he's gonna double. So now we're at 0, -1, and we're at -1. So this is what we're gonna continue to do round after round as the count fluctuates, going more positive or more negative. As it goes more positive, that's gonna give us the information we're gonna need to know when we have the advantage and how to play accordingly. As it goes more negative, the advantage goes further to the casino, and we're gonna use that information to our advantage as well. Count is going high because lots of small cards have come out. That means lots of what kind of cards?
High cards.
Yeah, tens and aces are gonna be coming out of the shoe, which is good for the player. It's not enough yet, but that tells you where we're going. Conversely, if lots of high cards have come out, lots of tens and aces, what does that mean for the player?
Bad news.
Bad news, that's right. The casino's advantage is going higher and higher, which is not good for us. So in this situation, we've got about 4 decks that have been dealt, 4 decks in the discard tray. Let's say we have a running 9.
So 9 divided by 2 decks left is 4.
Even though it's technically 4.5, we would just round it down to a true 4. And that is going to be a pretty good count for us, and so that's going to determine our bet.
Now you know how to have an advantage on the blackjack table. Go ahead and try your luck. If you want to know betting strategy to minimise the risk of loss, I will link another video of mine in the description and at the end of this video. Disclaimer: gambling can be dangerous and lead to losses. Please gamble responsibly and only play with money you don't mind potentially losing.